Welcome to the Patrick Lane Show, where we talk about personal finance, investing, and real estate. And today, what a big day it was on Wall Street for the newest player in the online digital experience, Roblox. And of course, I say newest player because, you know, the company's been around for, I think, 15 years, but it is today going public through a direct public offering, a direct listing rather than an IPO or a SPAC or any of the other ways that have been so popular lately. Do me a favor before we get started, go ahead and smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. We really appreciate the help in growing the channel. And today we're going to talk about Roblox. And you know, it was sort of anticipated, highly anticipated really among Wall Street bets and other investors. And the idea was that it was going to come out in its initial public offering earlier, a few months ago, last month, at the end of last year, but then it held off. And I think, frankly, because they saw the way that the SPACs were going and they saw the way that other direct public offerings were going rather than IPOs were going. And so they decided to do the direct public offering model, which means that instead of going through the investment banks, they were actually going to list their shares directly on the stock exchange and at the same time try to raise some capital too and not just offer the stocks for sale. So it was an interesting shift in their thinking by their corporate officers, corporate leadership team, but I think frankly it benefited them by doing it that way. Now, the interesting thing about the stock is that prior to today, when it was listed, the estimated opening price was going to be $45. They expected it to be $45 a share. That's what we've been hearing for the last couple of days. People were sort of amped up about $45 a share. There were a lot of people that it looked like on Reddit and Wall Street Bets who were placing their buy orders at $45 and ready to go as soon as it hit the market for trading. Problem was all morning that the price estimate started going up, started ticking up from $45, and the shares never started trading. They didn't start trading at 9:30. They didn't start trading at 10:30, 11:30. They said they're going to start trading at midday. Well, noon came, 1 o'clock came, and finally it started trading early this afternoon. And it wasn't $45 that it opened up at. It opened up at $64.50, which locked a lot of people out from those opening orders, yours truly included. And so it's one of those things that the hype before the direct offering actually drove that price up and priced some of us out of being able to execute those first orders. By the way, if you want Robinhood or Webull, check the description down below. There's a link there where if you sign up, then we can both get some free stocks. And, you know, that's a good thing. That's like free money, right? One of the things that happened was the hype surrounding it drove that $45 estimated price up to this $64.50 level when it opened. And so the underlying fundamentals of the company obviously didn't change from yesterday evening when they were talking about $45 to this afternoon when it opened at $64.50. And so you kind of scratch your head when you look at it and you think, well, what happened? What is this company really worth? And looking at the fundamentals, when it was priced at $45, it was estimated the value then would be put at about $30 billion. It was $29.3 billion or something along those lines. So let's say $30 billion was the estimated value of the company back then. Well, today it was as high as $75 per share at one point, $74.80 or something like that, I think was the highest. And that would value this company, Roblox, at $50 billion. Now, that's pretty big if you think about some of the other companies, that we're talking about. And if you want to compare it to GameStop even, which has obviously been hyped up a lot in the last couple of months, and rightly so, I think some people believe, the comparison right now is GameStop, even at $250 or $300 or, $100, $200, wherever it's trading today, it's been all of those. Even then, it's only at about a $20 billion valuation. That's GameStop. So you think about Roblox coming in its first day of trading and jumping up to what started off as a $29 billion valuation and then going all the way up to a $50 billion valuation. That's a pretty big jump. So when you look into the revenue side, the financials, now they do their accounting a little bit differently. So you've got to factor that in. But if we just look at revenue, the revenue in 2020 was up quite a bit, but it also was only $1 billion. So at a $50 billion company, you're talking about a 50x on revenue, which seems to be a little bit high for a company that's just going public, and a company, by the way, that lost money in 2020. Okay, it's operating at a net loss. Now, I don't know what the plan for turning that around is. I heard the CEO talking this morning, and he said that, that's more an accounting measure than it is actual cash flow, cash on hand, and, not necessarily what they would call profit, but it's more of an accounting quirk that it shows them losing money rather than being profitable. So, maybe that's the case, but we've got to go by what the numbers are filed in the reports, right? And so a 50x company on day one seems like a little bit extreme. Tell me what you think. Comment down below. Is a 50x valuation on revenue, is that something that you're good with? Was it 30x? Was that good? 20x? I don't know. Some of these tech companies, if you consider it a tech company, they go up to 200x revenue as a valuation. So for each individual investor, we just have to figure that out, what we're comfortable with. Obviously, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just some guy on YouTube. I'm not a financial advisor, but it's interesting to see the financials, the revenue, and their relationship to what the actual price is for the stock as it came out. Now, I'll tell you, with 32 million daily active users, with 8 million content creators who they share revenue with, those are the people who actually go on Roblox and create the games. I think they've got a bright future. I think it's only going to grow. The more that they go into diversifying their content for different age groups. And frankly, that's going to happen as a natural growth of the company because, right now, obviously Roblox is targeted towards kids. So if you're a parent out there, your kids are probably playing Roblox. But as those kids age up, guess what? Most of the creators on Roblox are younger and they're going to age up as well. So they're going to be creating more sophisticated, older teen targeted or young adult targeted games for people as they age up to play, just because that's what they want to play themselves. And so I think the natural progression of this company is going to be that they're going to have a good insight into building a customer base at every age group across the spectrum, whether it's young kids or it's young adults, and frankly, even regular age 25 to 34, 45 plus adults who are playing these games on their phones now. So I think the future is bright for Roblox, and I just wish that they would have let us execute our orders, and you probably do too, at the $45 estimated opening price rather than letting it bump to that $65 or $64.50 for the opening price, because a lot more of us would have been happy. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't leave your order in there, and then if it settles out over the next couple days, like what happens typically with IPOs and direct public offerings, the price will be set at the opening price. It'll shoot up a little bit, and then it sort of settles out at or below what the IPO price was. If that happens, then your $45 order will probably be executed unless you cancel it. So that's something to take heart in if you want to get it in at the $45 price. But that's what's happened today with Roblox. It was an exciting offering to take a look at. It's very interesting because if you have kids in your house, they were excited to see it, and they wanted to make sure that we bought a couple of shares of it just so they could be involved in owning a part of the game that they play. and the game that they help to build and develop. So that's the video for today. If you got any education or entertainment out of it, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the little notification bell. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.